Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time. As I say every single Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I want to make sure our goal is that you walk away with nuggets, right? Sales ideas, new strategies that you can use this afternoon when we hang up this call right before 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We're also going to have our giveaway at the end, so make sure you are paying attention. We also have a part two giveaway, first time we've done this, that I'm going to mention at the end of the call. So we'll have like a part one, which is pretty typical for our Thursday webinars. And then we're going to have a part two version. It gives everyone a chance to win IUL prospecting books, Apple AirPods. We're doing even an iPad and a few other very cool gifts that you can use in your business or in the gym, or if you like walking around the block at night, whatever it is. We want to make sure that everyone is a winner. Okay. And if you get the question answered first and correct, great, you're a winner. If not, there's still an opportunity, and that's what we're going to share at the end. So good stuff to come. Make sure you ask plenty of questions. Use that Q&A box. We want to hear from you. Okay. Feedback, good, bad, and different. We build these presentations around your thoughts, comments, questions, feedback, all the above. So please dive in. Andrew's going to do his best to answer every one of you in real time. If there's something that we don't know, we will either ask our VPs that are hosting the presentation today at the end, or we will get back to you as soon as we wrap up. So that'll be right after 3 p.m. Eastern Time, but please dive in. I want to make sure you get as much knowledge today as possible, and also use your notes app or notepad. I don't care. I just want to make sure you remember the good info. Okay. What are we talking about today? Okay. And I know, especially if you've been in this industry a while, you heard about Assurity Life, or you're already appointed with Assurity Life. Hopefully it's with Levinson. If it's not, hopefully you move over to Levinson, and you ask yourself why, right? And here's the big why. So number one, with us, it is a full pass-through renewal. Okay, that's a big deal. A lot of uplines, IMOs, keep either all or part of the renewal. I think the agent deserves it. You're the one that's out in the field making it happen. So it's a full pass-through. Commissions, think about this for a second. It's you, Levinson, right? And the carrier. Okay, so you are directly appointed with Assurity Life. There's not 17 and a half layers in between you and the GA, between the MGA and the IMO, and then the carrier. So that's a big deal, right? And most importantly, you will have sales platforms to sell more product and market yourself more effectively to your network, to your friends, family members, clients, prospects, by leveraging Insure Me Now Direct, which is free, okay, by using the SAGE Scholarship Program, which is free, okay? And think about this, all of the Assurity products, and not only the ones that you are working on, let's say this afternoon, new clients or new leads, but also all policyholders from the past are all eligible for the scholarship program. That's huge. Think about the referral stream. Okay, think about you going back in the door saying, Bobby Smith, I sold you an Assurity term policy 4.5 years ago. Now I'm a SAGE approved agent. And because you bought this policy 4.5 years ago, I can give you a free 1-year scholarship for little Jimmy and Jenny. Okay. Do you think you're going to be a superstar? Absolutely. Do you think you're going to get referrals? Absolutely. And we're going to give you a great sales idea that makes this situation a no-brainer for you and the client. I promise you. Okay. And by the way, if you don't agree, I also want to hear from you, because I want to hear why you don't agree with my great sales idea, because it literally is a no-brainer. Okay, let's keep moving forward. So what I want to do is real fast talk about the big expo, our big powwow for the year. We are back bigger and better than ever, and that's our promise to you every single year. And Assurity is already part of our lineup because they are considered a core carrier. As you know, we have over 90 companies on the life, the annuity side, the supplemental product side. But we have a handful of core carriers which will be present at the expo. And that's where we like to do most of our business because of the products, the relationships, customer service, all the above. But what I want to mention here quickly, number one is save the date. Okay, most important, April 17th, 2026. Our hashtag, our theme for the year for 26. Ready for this? Hashtag stack the bricks in 26. What does it mean? It means that you are going to learn. You're going to be able to pivot, strategize new platforms, ideas into your practice to have the best year ever. And that's what the expo is about. It's also a great networking opportunity. We have a networking lunch. We'll have an agent panel. Like I said, our top carriers and presenters throughout the day. It's going to be fantastic. And bottom right corner, think about this for a second. All applications, life, annuity, DI, doesn't matter. Even if it's the guaranteed issue or virtually guaranteed issue, accidental death policy with return of premium, it also counts towards round trip airfare and up to 2 free nights in our oceanfront suite. Okay, right on the sand in South Florida. You will love it. And by the way, I just found out too, the hotel is fully renovated and updated for this date. So it's going to be an amazing day. And I want to make sure we're capped at 300. So you got to register and get in before the cutoff. And like I said, it's free for everyone, but we want to pay for your airfare round trip and a beachfront suite. Okay, so you got to get the premium in. We're also, and I didn't announce this yet, but we're going to have a month this year. So 2025, we're going to have a month where we're going to do double points. Okay, so it'll give you a better chance to qualify for airfare and the beachfront suite. Okay, keep your eyes peeled for that. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is switch gears for a second and talk about you, our agents, right? We are 100% wholesalers. We're distributors. That means we are not retailers. We don't have a call center, right, in the northwest wing of the office. Okay, no, we are here for you, our agents and agencies. So when we see comments, reviews like this come in, it means everything to me, to my family, to our staff, which is my extended family. Okay, it moves the needle for each and every person in this office. Okay, and the remote workers, which we have a few in 3 different states now. So the point is, please share. Also, you get the prospecting book free on us. If you do, share on our Facebook page or Google reviews page, okay, or a link, which, by the way, all of this will be in our thank you email that you'll receive tonight. So again, Lily, Tom, Matt, Bill, Eddie, and Al, it means everything to each and every person in here. Keep sharing, okay? And if there's any ever issues that maybe you feel, hey, this didn't get approved the way I wanted it. I didn't get the customer service that I thought I would get from one of your staff members or whatever it is. Carrie and myself are here to jump in and make it right. For that 1% chance that maybe it didn't go the way you wanted it to, we will try to make it right if it's possible. Sometimes the carrier won't approve a case a certain way, maybe depending on a health issue, height and weight. Of course, we have no control over that, but my promise is we'll do the best we can to try to make it 100% fantastic feedback for you. Okay, let's keep moving. All right. What's new at Levinson? So very simply put, all you have to do is check out our 411 Life and Annuity Leader. Okay, this is our newsletter. It's sitting in your inbox, like I said, every other week, and it covers every single update, what's hot, what's not, with every carrier, every piece of technology that we offer, every sales platform. It's literally an image. You click and check out whatever you want to check out. It saves you the time and hassle of going to 92 different websites. Okay, so make sure you're getting this. If you're not, let me know. That means we have your incorrect email. Let's keep moving forward. I have one last slide, and then Doug and Christy is going to take the wheel. So what I want to mention is Insure Me Now Direct. And if you have been with us for a while, if you've known me for a while, you know I always talk about this. We all speak about this in the office. And it's getting bigger and better by the month, literally. Okay, new products, new carriers, better technology. We even have now the part 1, like the instant decision side, direct to consumer, which Assurity is a part of that. They're a huge part of that. And then we have the other side, which is traditional underwriting, traditional brokerage products. And what's so cool about this is just say to yourself, if you're a client, right, and you're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and it's 2 a.m., and you're online checking out Bill Levinson, the agent's website, running a quote, you can now click instant decision, or you can compare it to traditional brokerage, which is on the left side. And that's where you're going to have over 50 companies. Okay. On the right side, the instant side, there's 23 products for carriers. Traditional brokerage side, like I said, over 50 different carriers, hundreds and hundreds of products to choose from. And then if the client says, hey, I like this protective life quote, okay, let's for example, right? But they don't have an instant decision portal, right? Or part of the platform. What we built into this is a one-page request form. Okay, think of like a Telelife app. Okay, that comes up. The consumer fills out the one pager. It's sent to you, the agent, in real time. So then when you wake up at 6 a.m., 4 hours later, you can say, hey, Bobby, I just got your one page app request form. Okay, I just need this and this, and I'm going to enter everything in iGo, and you are done. Okay, so it's almost direct to consumer. Okay, you'll have to get involved for about 5 minutes. But I love that piece. If I'm an agent out there, right, and I'm focused on the monster $100,000 IUL cases, right, I'm teaming up with CPAs, estate planning attorneys, and I'm out there fishing for the monster cases. Why not have this running in the background for the low hanging fruit, right? We're all out there, all the agents, P&C, health, life, right? We're trying to network and go to networking events and seminars, webinars and Zoom calls. And, we're trying to make big things happen. But why not have all of this running on autopilot in the background on your social media pages, on your weekly e-blasts, on your weekly posts, on LinkedIn, Facebook, right? Instagram, Meta, Facebook now, right? Think about how many opportunities are out there. Okay. And even if it's just a quote and hey, I want to call back, great, it's a win and it's free. So you have to look at it like this. And we have so many videos and e-blasts and flyers pre-approved. We can co-brand for you. There's no excuse to not get this out in the open, right? And drive more sales. Okay. More business for you. It's a win-win across the board. Okay. Let's go to enough of my ranting. Let's go to my feature presentation. So I have two friends of mine for a very long time, our regional wholesaler and our regional VP with Assurity Life. We have Doug and Christy, who is going to take the wheel. Doug?
Thank you very much, Bill. And thank you, as always, for the warm introduction. And thanks, everyone, for joining us today. We're going to pull our own slides up here in just a moment. But just to give you a little background, Doug Bedore here from Assurity, over 8 years at Assurity, over 20 years in the business. Christy has a similar timeline, over 20 years in the business, although she doesn't like me saying that. We have had a great partnership with the team at Levinson. One of my favorite ones to visit. I'm looking forward to South Florida. If you haven't been to that conference, I suggest keep an eye out on those double credits and get that business in. It is a fantastic spot, and we'd love to see you there. So with that, we'll kind of jump in. If you're unfamiliar with Assurity, over 135 years in the business, excellent rated company. We're a certified B Corporation, which is a kind of an easy, quick certification to think about. Is we put people and our planet above profit. So we are definitely looking to be a community-based organization that really does focus on helping people out. But with that, generally, if we're doing kind of a high level, what Assurity sells, it's a little bit of everything. So our product overview, everything from term, whole life, universal products, what we kind of consider our health products for critical illness, DI, accident, and then we've got some annuities in there as well. So we have a very wide-ranging portfolio. But what gets me most excited, this is one of the most fun meetings I get to do, is because we get to talk about a platform that is completely unique to Levinson and Associates. What the team, what Bill and the team there have built out is really one of the most advanced direct-to-consumer platforms you can find in the space. So as Bill said, if maybe you've been working with Assurity, if you're not set up at Levinson, check it out. They're the ones that can get you access to Insure Me Now Direct, which is really what we're going to focus on today. Assurity is well represented on that platform. I love the platform. It gives you options to, as Bill said, really sell while you sleep. Your clients can, if they're clicking through that, they'll see the various different categories you see on the screen. There's more than that on the Insure Me Now Direct, but you'll find Assurity products, multiple products within each of these categories. So there's a good chance that your clients are going to come across an Assurity plan. So we are really excited to kind of dig in a little bit and make sure you're aware of what your clients are going to come across, because as you're talking to clients, as you're out in the field, if you get that opportunity to say, hey, I've been looking for a term plan, or I've been looking for a critical illness plan, you know that your focus may be on bigger cases, but you can just drop them the Insure Me Now Direct link for your agent site, and they can self-serve right there. So that's our plan today. After this, we're going to have Christy kind of go through where we see our products within the site. And what she'll do is kind of give you an idea of the market for each of these products. Obviously term insurance, some of that can be self-evident, but we want to give you an idea for Assurity's products. When you think Assurity term or Assurity critical illness, here are some niches. Here are some places that we've seen business recently in good volumes. I like that idea because when you're out in the field, maybe you're talking to a dental hygienist, and we've got a couple products here at Assurity that we see a big number of that particular occupation adopt our product. So that's the goal here today. Let you know, make sure you know what's on the platform, but two, let you know when you're talking to clients, when you hit a certain market, it rings that bell in your mind saying, oh, I know where that product is and I know the fit there. So you'll be able to kind of make that suggestion out. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Christy and we'll do a little digging in on the products.
All right. Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us today. I'm really excited to share some of this information with you. So as Doug mentioned, kind of give you just a few little bits and pieces about the product and some of the features of where we may differ or where we might just find a good fit with us, compared to other carriers. I know you have plenty of great carriers you have access through Levinson for. So we'll start with our term product. Now, there's quite a few term products out there. Where do we really fit really well with the agents that are selling the product now? And what do we see when, like Bill had mentioned earlier, looking at the referrals, reviews, and things that, they get on their website and through social media platforms. We kind of have done the same with our agents who are selling products of what is attractive about Assurity's products. So those are some of the things that we're sharing with you on these. So starting with the term, the biggest space that we have seen agents want to look at our products for is the ability for that instant decision. Currently, for clients starting at age 18 up to 50, we can instant decision up to $1 million, and that could be a 10-year plan, or it could be the 30-year term, whichever you or your clients prefer. And then for the older ages, starting at age 51 to age 65, we can actually instant issue up to $500,000 without any potential extra underwriting. Now, one thing that this hasn't picked up yet, but I know it will be, also for clients that are in that older age, so even that 65 to 70, we still have the potential. We can go up to 100,000 and still potentially look at getting that instant decision. So even for some of the clients a little bit older, something we just updated here recently. So I imagine as we see more of those sales come in, that'll quickly make it here to the top list as well. One big feature that we have on our product that probably is the top seller for the product is the return of premium opportunity. So this is available on our 20 and 30-year terms. Clients can exercise. They decide after 10 or 15 years that they no longer need this insurance. They have other insurance. Maybe they won the Powerball last month when, we were millions and billions of dollars. They don't need this anymore. Whatever it is, they could decide in 10 years that they want to stop and get a portion of the premiums back. Or if they hold it to the end of the term, they're getting all premiums back for the base policy and the ROP rider. So a policy where over 30 years someone has spent, $55,000. Once we minus off policy fees, they're getting, a little over $50,000 in return. So it's a good value. And I'll go over some of the markets where we see that hit here shortly. Lastly, I know a lot of companies that offer term products and even any other life insurance products out there, have limitations of where you can start off a preferred or preferred plus sale. And for us at Assurity, the term product, starts at 25,000, and that's exactly where we can look at potential preferred or preferred plus rates. So it's not something that they have to purchase over 100,000, over 500,000 of coverage in order to be eligible for preferred rates or, go through full underwriting. So even with that instant decision, we can offer preferred or preferred plus rates. Now, the great news for you is, let's say you're meeting with that client and maybe the way they're kind of acting about some of the health conditions that you're asking them about, they're acting a little quiet, you're not sure. So you submit something on a standard basis. The good news is if we can offer preferred or preferred plus, we will do that too, even through that instant decision. So you can expect, and we've seen it where, cases get submitted on just a standard basis, and we've came back and offered preferred and preferred plus ratings. So those are kind of the big niches we have seen with the product. Now for you, the next niche we want to talk about is the markets. Now, I know there's a lot of different ways to look at what generations are buying products. We still see a lot of sales for the term product from the Gen X and the millennials, but the Gen Z is really starting to be the number one purchaser of term insurance. The reason for that is they're, I should say, whether it is they're getting better educated by meeting with an agent when they're young, they're taking a class in college, they see the importance of just starting a financial plan early. We just see more instances where we're getting those cases in on the younger clients. Now, the great news for you, clients in that age group, are under the age of 30 and younger, right out of college age. Most of them do not have any type of health concerns. So these are the cases that you're able to go and write that do fly through underwriting, finish the application within 5 minutes, have that instant approval, and, a client gets a policy to their email, fairly quick. So that's one market we have seen a huge increase. And again, part of it is the size of the case. They're not coming in looking for a $10 million policy at age 24. They're looking for enough that is covering we're covering the college education, any loans that they have out. We're covering what they're doing now as a job. We want to look at 1 or 2 years of salary. We're covering that on the life insurance. Any other debt they have from a car or things they've had to purchase, apartments, they've had to sign a lease over for, depending on area of the country, a year, maybe 2 years to lock in a good rate. So we still see those plans be fairly decent size. They're just not going to be, the $1 million, $5 million cases that everyone would like to see come across their desks. Second place, mortgage protection. Our product does have a standalone disability and critical illness rider available to be added on. Now, what is that different than what you see currently out there with, we have accelerated benefits available. Those are great too. We will never discount those, but for a lot of clients that are kind of purchasing that first mortgage, they don't see themselves necessarily using that acceleration. And second, at a time when they're young and healthy, locking in that separate rider, which is a separate pool and something that will not change the death benefit on their policy, that's going to be a huge spot for you to stand out from the other agent that they've talked to. We're able to offer you a term insurance plan. It has some of these benefits. So, if something happens and, you are permanently confined to a nursing facility or given a life expectancy of under 6 months, we have great features like that. But if it is something like a cancer diagnosis, things that used to kill us no longer do that. So being able to offer that standalone pool of money to still help them make sure that they can pay that mortgage, pay their property taxes, pay their utilities, keep their kiddos in the YMCA sports, whatever it is, by using that disability and critical illness rider. Last market that we have seen a fairly large increase of sales is the small business owners. Now, this could be everyone from you as an agent who is maybe you're starting out to invest in an office space. You actually want to have a standalone place where you can welcome clients. Or it could be kind of the newest craze out there that I know we're seeing this all over the country, food truck owners. We have a lot of food truck owners that are purchasing second trucks, they're redoing trucks, purchasing new equipment. They often are needing loans in order to cover those investments. So that's another great space there. And then being able to throw in that return of premium rider where, hey, guess what? After, you have that loan paid off, if you have 2 food trucks, for instance, you want to pay, buy a new one, you pay off that truck, and then maybe it's time to replace that first truck or upgrade some of the appliances, any of those things. It's a great time to be able to use that and then throw that ROP. So, hey, we're good to go now. We can get all that money back. Now, the great news is we've written off that insurance premium as a business expense as well. So we've seen that pick up quite a bit. So think of all those small business owners that you frequent on a fairly regular basis as great potential clients. Next product I want to hit on quickly is our critical illness product. The great news with our product is we kind of have 2 different avenues you can go as far as the product and underwriting. For benefit amounts up to $75,000, it is a simplified issue. So through the platform that you guys use, you will get that instant decision immediately. It is limited on health questions. Now, if you choose to go with a little bit of a bigger case, depending on the type of client you're working with, we can actually offer this policy up to $500,000 as well. Policy itself has 11 different covered conditions, 6 more with a rider. Unique thing about our product is it's not a one and done product. So if you have a client that does have a claim, let's say they have a stent put in, 2 years later, they have a heart attack. 10 years later, they are diagnosed with cancer. 5 years following that, they have a stroke. Depending on the size of the case that you sell, the client has that capability of claiming on, let's say, a $50,000 policy 11 times, because we would able to offer something for each one of the covered conditions. So it's not a one and done plan like a lot of those that are out there. Also, one great built-in feature I think about accelerated benefits and living benefits and what that looks like for all of us today. I really think this product really is the perfect example of a true living benefits policy. If your client never uses it, or maybe they use it for a smaller claim where they're still paying in more premiums, we have a built-in return of premium on death on this plan. So you have a client who buys this plan. Let's say they pay in over 15 years, close to $25,000 of premiums. They happen to pass away riding down the coastline on a sunny, beautiful day, just of natural causes. The good news is all premiums will go to their beneficiary. So it turns into a life insurance benefit if they never use it. It's a great, great product. Now, key markets with this, one is always going to be anyone who works with clients that are concerned about medical insurance and high deductible. I know recently I spoke with an agent where the client just found out they just got their rates and they're at $12,500 if it is in network and $25,000 if it is out of network. Well, the area they live in, they're closer to the out of network places than they are the in network places. So just looking at those markets, and again, that continued concern about, people don't have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 sitting around in the case that something happens. Also, often, based on, we have 125 plans depending on the type of insurance. or we have the HSA accounts associated with high deductible plans. Depending on a single person or family, you cannot put enough money in one of those to cover that annual deductible. So keep that in mind for those types of clients that do express that as something that makes them a little anxious. Second market, anyone you work with who works in a medical occupation, they work with clients every day that suffer from things such as cancer, heart attack, and stroke. They know the effects that stresses can put on someone while they're trying to focus on a treatment or recovery plan. I can tell you, some of the agents that we work with that sell strictly critical illness to some of these medical markets have a close rate probably of about 90%. And that's just, again, because they work with those things every day. They understand the need. They understand that even if it wouldn't necessarily bankrupt them themselves, it could put a pretty big dent in their future plans. The last spot is kind of moving on from that into, financial plan securities. If we think about how quick for each of us on this call, if I asked you to send me a check today for $10,000, I want you to think about, one, would you be able to do that? Two, if you are able to do that, how much money do you have left in that savings account? Three, if you're not able to do that, how much would you be short? I think about agents that work in, we're making a plan for our futures, we're putting some money away in savings, we're investing in maybe the stock market, bonds, CDs, annuities, whatever it is, or purchasing life insurance to protect things. How quickly all those things could go away if all of a sudden I'm diagnosed with a serious illness. Maybe I am working, maybe I'm not working, maybe I'm on a limited work plan. I don't have the same income coming in. I can no longer keep those things in place as they once were. The nice thing about the critical illness is we see a lot of agents that are working in financial planning have really started to see the benefit of critical illness, and lucky it has kind of came from the accelerated benefit sales. So keep that in mind. A lot of those people, who have talked about or work with financial plans. I have someone I work with, so I don't need your help. Those are the great things to ask. Have they offered you critical illness insurance? It's a great spot to kind of fit in and help them complete their own plan, but also maybe give you an in to that financial planner where you can partner with them to sell this product. Next, I want to hit on our accidental death plan. This is still one of the most popular insurance plans that we sell here and has been for over 20 years. The great thing about the product is it has no health questions, there's no exams. We can offer up to $350,000 of coverage. Instant decision, these ones, literally, if you took an application right now, I can tell you'll be done within 5 minutes. And if I was selling it to you, by the time we're done with this webinar, you will have that policy in your email. So super quick, super easy, not a lot of things that you have to follow up on, not a lot of questions on the application. It is really a smooth runner for us. We can sell this up to age 70 as well. So starting at age 18 up to 70. So still keeps that client market fairly large depending on where you're working at. Now, places we see this fit, the number one is life to clients or even highly rated life cases where we have a situation, we can't offer life insurance, they have 7 different conditions, or maybe we found a carrier to offer a final expense. However, they can only get $25,000. They really were looking for $250,000 of coverage. We see this plan used quite a bit to kind of supplement that extra insurance, even if it only is on an accident basis. It's still getting something closer to what that client is looking for, or getting it at a much lower premium, depending on if they're highly table rated on traditional life insurance plans. Young adults, I would say summertime and into third quarter probably are, I'll say, very high times where this product is sold. Now, a lot of that young adults, I think about anyone you have on your book of business who has kiddos, that are in school. I especially think for college kids. I actually have talked to families about this myself, about the shenanigans that go on inside a dorm. Um, it's a great spot just to offer that little extra coverage, especially in the case where parents have co-signed loans. If something does happen to that student, which of course we all hope that never happens, there is benefits there, to make sure other expenses get taken care of and don't get pushed back on the parents at a time when they are already suffering enough. This plan also does has an ROP, so there is the opportunity to get money back there, and that is again another high percentage of these policies in that young adult market are sold with that ROP, just because it is kind of a temporary type of insurance for most people. Last spot we've seen a lot of success is in the P&C markets. Now, maybe you don't work in those markets, so why am I telling you about that? Well, I want you to think about any clients in your book of business that maybe ride motorcycles. They live somewhere up north, so maybe snowmobiles here getting into fourth quarter and next year. Three-wheelers, four-wheelers, those that own boats and campers, they are large client base for this type of a product, just because they all have seen someone who has become seriously injured or who has passed away using one of those types of transportation. So I could say for sure we do have 2 agencies currently that sell well over $100,000 premium with this product specifically for motorcycle riders. Obviously up here in the north, we see more of those poker runs and types of charity runs happening, spring and summer months, not as many into the fall and winter as maybe down in Florida or other southern states. But those things that go on all year, they're very familiar. They all know someone, so it's a very easy sale for you to make. And the best thing is to get you those good referrals to go back and sell other insurance products. Accident insurance. This is just a plain accident plan that goes alongside any client that you are working with who has an oops. So something happens, I hurt myself, I end up at an urgent care, I end up on my computer or phone talking to a doctor, I end up in an ER. This is a guaranteed issue plan that offers tons of benefits, everything from an initial appointment to surgeries to the crutches I may need if I break something. And we have 3 different plans. I kind of refer to them as our good, better, best, our base, advantage, and complete. The great news with this is there's many different ways to sell the plans, but I really think the markets kind of summarize that up pretty well. First is juvenile. We see probably the highest number of sales on an individual basis on a juvenile because we can start selling this product at 15 days. Now, I know we're not worried about a lot of 15-day-old people like having accidents, but I think about car accidents using rideshare. For families, I think about just things that happen. Life happens. But for juveniles specifically, I think about those right now that are playing, depending on areas of the country, golfing, soccer, volleyball, football. We see a lot of those sports where something could happen. So we actually have an organized sports benefit on this plan that will pay an additional 25% up to $1,000 extra benefit in the case that there's an injury during an organized sport. I can tell you personally, last year my favorite nephew's basketball game, we had a little 10-year-old boy who tore their ACL and MCL. Very easily would have met their health insurance deductible. Luckily, if they would have had a plan like this, that would have covered everything from the ER visit, the surgeries, the recovery, the rehabilitation, the appliances like the crutches and the little scooter, would have covered all of those things for the family. Family plans, we do have the capability to write one plan on an entire family too. So situation where we do have a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving people, being able to cover everyone with one plan. Also, if there's an additional child that comes along later, as long as they are giving us a call we will get that child added onto the plan as well. Last market, and one that you probably wouldn't think about as much for this, is the senior market. If this is happening here where I am in Lincoln, Nebraska, I know it's happening wherever you are at today. Pickleball has become probably one of the largest outdoor and indoor sports for the senior market. The good news is that this is keeping people that are retired out and about and doing things, helping keep them healthier and they're living longer. The bad news, though, is often as our bodies do as we age, bones become a little more brittle. If I'm out playing pickleball and I smack a good ball and I fall down, chances are I'm not going to break anything, but someone a little bit older than me very likely could. So having that plan available for those older ages is another spot. We're seeing a lot of good fit, whether it is the seniors themselves or it comes down to even their own children who are wanting to buy this plan on their parents too. Last product I want to hit on is our disability portfolio. Now, you guys have access to 2 of our plans through the website. We have other ones if you need something else too, but we have our income protection plan, which is our short-term individual DI, and then our Century Plus plan, which is our long-term DI. The great news with these plans is we're able to offer one or both of these to your clients depending on what their additional needs are. So we can sell both a short-term and a long-term. We have weekly benefits on the short-term plan that'll pay up to $1,000 on a weekly basis if they are a business owner, $1,500 if they are a W-2 employee. We have waiting periods that start at 0 days and will go up to 2 years on the short term. And we have long-term that pays on a monthly basis for $500 up to $20,000. Now, I'll tell you kind of just so you have an idea of where we see in the short term, probably the most is like a 7 or a 14-day wait. And it's usually choosing our 13-week plan or the 26-week plan. Those are the most popular in the short term. The long term, typically a 60 or a 90-day elimination and benefits. We see a pretty good mix of either 5 years or to age 65. Those are probably the most popular that we see out there. Now, disability insurance, one thing I don't really like to do is refer to it as disability insurance. It is so much better to talk about it as being income protection for your clients. Now, how does that come into play for kind of the key markets that we are seeing? Gig workers. If you're not familiar with what gig workers like to do, I definitely encourage you to go out and read some articles. They're kind of a little bit more of that strategic thinker when it comes to how they look at employment. I might see a benefit if I was a gig worker of how I work 2 jobs. I'm not accepting benefits from either one. I'm working part-time at them both, but I'm actually making double, sometimes triple the salary I would be if I was working full-time at one of those 2 places. Now, they're not paying me benefits, so that's something that gig worker does have to purchase themselves, but often they're not aware of all the benefits that really come with a full-time position. So it gives a good opportunity for you, not only to help them cover their paycheck here, cover that income protection, but then to go back later and sell additional products that you have in your portfolio. A lot of times in that too, contract workers I think about, that has become a larger market over these last few years of companies kind of looking at how they can scale back on business expenses. If we hire contract workers in, we may be paying a little bit higher of a salary than we usually would, but we're not paying any type of benefits. That's all up to that third party, that employs those contract workers. So a lot of times they have minimal benefits offered through that contract company. So being able to kind of fill in some gaps there. Again, it's kind of that preference of this market. Going back to the Gen Zs, they want to make more money. They're not as happy with spending or having more money from their paychecks or future benefits going to some of those coverages they don't really deem necessarily at this point in their lives. Second spot is that medical market, and kind of one that Doug had hit on a little bit earlier, that dental hygienist. We sell tons of policies to dental hygienists. Now, It could be one where they're in a similar situation to some of those gig workers. They're working part-time through two dentists. Um, or often we just see them where they've been working through this office, and dental hygienists are the ones that are responsible for all the basic things that happen at a dentist office. They're also the ones that are pretty much responsible for finding the patients that do need to go to the actual dentist chair for further work. Um, we also see quite a few nurses, and that could be both in a hospital setting or a doctor setting. And another one that we see, probably the largest increase I've seen here since I have been working at the company with disability specifically, are nurse anesthesiologists. They often are making quite good money, usually into six figures. And typically they're looking for 10-year benefit periods. We have seen quite a few sales there. So just another market to think about if you have anyone in your book of business currently that fits in those parameters. Last would be small business owners. We see a lot of small business owners that, maybe we have 2 or 3 full-time employees and lots of part-time employees. I think about here in Lincoln, there's a little coffee shop I frequent on a fairly regular basis. There is literally one person who is full-time, and everyone else that works there is part-time. They don't offer any benefits. However, they do let an insurance agent come in once a year to talk about benefits with their team. So it could be an opportunity for you to get the sale of the business owner, and then maybe look at getting other products such as our accident plan for their other part-time employees as well. So lots of great fits, but that small business market seems to be a very growing market now too, that we're seeing more of these things go digital. That is all I had to go over today. So I will pass it back over to our favorite people at Levinson and see if we have any questions.
Thank you so much, Christy and Doug. Great job. And I think now you kind of understand why we had this webinar, why we have Assurity, why we have the platform, right? Every single client, prospect, person has a need for at least one of these products, right? And every agent I know can sell at least one of these products to everyone that you know. And it's just, and think about this, right? We have over 90 carriers. There's thousands of companies, right, all over the country. And who else do we know that has a rating like this with so many options and riders, and then the instant decision technology platform where there's no cost to you, right? And there's no reduction of commissions and full renewals. I mean, you now understand the sizzle, why we wanted to do this. And I know you're writing down some ideas, hey, if it's the GM of the local Harley Davidson dealer, and you're going to meet with their finance manager about offering accidental death insurance, right? Accidental death benefit with a ROP rider, no brainer. It's basically guaranteed issue. There's so many ways that you can open new doors. So great work once again, guys. I'm going to switch gears now and talk about how to get, I actually saw a few emails come in as we were presenting about how to get started contracting, how can I move my contract to get the tools. So what we did, it's very, very simple. We have one slide that talks about how to get started. You follow the yellow arrows, and what we're going to do, number one, is send out that thank you email tonight with all of this information, or just call in to any one of our marketers or anyone in contracting, and we'll make sure that we get you set up. Okay, if you're new, speak to a marketer. If you're an existing agent, anyone in contracting can help. So either way, we're just happy that you call in, right? Because again, you're our number one, you're our customer. We don't deal with retail. So let's keep moving forward. I got some great sales ideas, and I know you're going to love this too. And it's not just words, right? I think after you see the strategy, you're going to think of, oh my gosh, I can bring this up to Susie and she's going to love this, right? No brainer. All right, the Levinson difference. So left-hand side. Now, keep in mind, we own the Insure Me Now Direct platform. Okay, so what that means to you as far as your competitors, right? You're going to have one leg up against everyone because you're the only one that has a direct-to-consumer free platform that has the 23 products or carriers and growing. Okay, no commission reduction, full renewal. So when you're marketing all of this on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, right? Your competition doesn't have anything like it. Oh yeah, they might have a link, to one-term product. Okay, fine. Well, you have all of these options and riders. So you got to get out there. And then think about this. How many agents do you know, right, that aren't affiliated with Levinson that say, hey, I would love this too. Where do I get this? And that's when you let us know, hey, I have a new downline agent. I need to make 5%, 10%, 20% override on all of their business because I'm also helping them and supporting them, and I made the introduction. Great. So the opportunities again are endless. All of the left side. Now think about this. Insure Me Now Direct, green checks. Right side, it says them. That's our competition. Nobody now they're marketing stuff similar to this, right? Because we all know what the hot air means, right? And as soon as you call, then you get the real story. But anyway, left-hand side, Insure Me Now, and then it's the competition on the right-hand side, and you can see it's not even close, okay? In fact, there's no multi-carrier, multi-product solution where the agent doesn't have to lift a finger, where the agent is agent of record and still gets full commission. It doesn't exist, okay? Yes, one carrier, one product, fine, I get it, but nothing like this. Let's move over to the right-hand side, the ultimate 1-2 punch. Think about door openers, okay? When I think door openers, I think, mass marketing. I think what appeals to everyone. Okay. What does everyone need? No matter what, you can say, oh, some of the younger generation, I don't believe in life insurance. I'm going to invest or I'm going to build equity in my home and I'm all set. Okay. Well, we all know life insurance is 100% tax-free death benefit. There's so many bells and whistles, right? But let's switch gears. For just a few bucks a month, we can talk about a guaranteed issue accident plan with a built-in scholarship, with return of premium, okay? Left-hand side, critical illness, especially disability income, okay? Everyone has a need for at least one of these products starting at just a few bucks a month. I know you can come up with a creative one-page flyer, e-blast video, and if you can't, we already did for you, and we can co-brand it. So this is just a way to open doors, to build relationships. You can have the best products in the world, and you can have the best commissions in the world at 422%, okay? If you can't get the door open, it does you no good, right? So you need these things. You have the gift of gab once you get the door open, but how do you get the initial door open conversation started with the low-hanging fruit door opener products? Let's keep moving forward. Okay, so our platform in a nutshell. This is Insure Me Now Direct on the instant side. Very simple. Banner Life, top left corner, 8+ rated, the number one selling term today, period. 4 million instant. Bottom left corner, another great carrier, right, with supplemental products. What I love about Manhattan is the long-term care alternative product that's virtually guaranteed issue, another great door opener product that almost everybody needs. Okay, I would say everybody. Top right side, Assurity. We just went over their portfolio. Bottom right corner, Gerber. Okay, who has a better brand, right? A better logo, right? Everybody knows Gerber Life. So I would be marketing this literally from California to Key West, and I would even throw Hawaii in there because everybody knows the name, right? It's all about recognition. I want to hear more, right? Just had a baby. Tell me more. Now, these products are on the platform, direct to consumer, guaranteed issue, all free scholarship. Okay. Now, can you sell this? Absolutely. Let's keep moving. Next slide. Pro plan. So you like the free platform. It works great, but now you want to take it a step further. You want to invest in SEO and some built-in AI marketing, right? And write some blogs and customize various articles and links and maybe your health insurance division. Sure, we have a full customizable WordPress professional website platform that already has Insure Me Now Direct built in. So if you want to take it up a notch, we can introduce you to our third-party website program company. And for about half the price, you are in with Insure Me Now Direct. Starts at $2,100 per month. Okay, $2,000 setup, and you can run your P&C, health, life, Insure Me Now, everything across the board, and it's as good as it gets. I can tell you that much. If you want to see samples, let us know. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to show everyone next is the Insure Me Now Direct playbook. So everything that we have now, think about this. I know if you're newer to us, this sounds like a lot of moving parts. Where do I start, Bill? Okay, I get it. So we built this one-page flyer to help you understand what's available to you and how does it all work. Okay, that's on the left-hand side. We're going to include this in the thank you email. And then on the right-hand side, you talk about networking and working with banks and CPAs, estate planning attorneys, PNC. One of the largest PNC companies in Florida is now using this platform as their life division. All they're doing is sprinkling different e-blasts out in our customized campaign to all of their PNC clients. And what are they doing? They're clicking, they're quoting, they're buying these life products without any agent involvement. So I don't have to tell you anymore. Okay, you get the hint here. Let's keep moving. The scholarship program is in front of you, and it's free. And all of these carriers are approved through compliance. Okay, on the right-hand side. So think about this, and I'm going to show you another slide here, and you're really going to understand it. Don't get in the weeds here. Don't think to yourself, oh my gosh, how am I going to remember all this? And all you have to know is, hey, I'm going to get Sage approved through Levinson, right? We'll get you activated. It's free. And then as long as you're appointed with one of those carriers or more, you can start offering this to your clients. And by offering it, it's basically just like a Bank of America online checking account that they now have because of you. It shows your name in the bottom right corner. And that's where they go in and check their points. Every point is $1 of scholarship. It's like frequent flyer miles with Delta. Same concept. Let's keep moving. Now you're really going to understand the big why. Okay? This one I'm going to take a minute on, and I'm still going to get everyone out on time or maybe a minute or two over, but this is probably one of the most important slides today, besides what Assurity went over. So real fast, let's use this example. 30-year-old female has a 1-year-old child. Okay. So what we did here, we just ran very simple, and you can do this on Insure Me Now Direct or off. Doesn't make a difference. Okay. Or you can do it if you're on a cell phone call or FaceTime, Zoom, whatever. Okay. So we're running a quote. It's $1 million, 20-year term with ROP, 30-year-old female, preferred plus, non-smoker. $1 million. Okay. You can see the illustration in front of you, $82 a month with return of premium. Now, you have your agent hat on. Think about this. What you're saying to your audience, to these prospects, is, would you be interested, right? Just had a 1-year-old baby. Would you be interested on taking out $1 million policy for 20 years guaranteed? Guaranteed is the big word here. Okay, so if something happens to you while little Shelly or little Johnny's growing up, right, in middle school and then high school and then college, right, hopefully, if something happens to you, they get $1 million tax-free death benefit check in the mail. God forbid something happens to you. If nothing happens to you, mom, right, nothing happens to you, and you make it to 20 years, guess what? You get your money back plus $43,000 in scholarship. 43,000 points, each point is $1. That's $43,000, okay? So now, for 20 years, you didn't make it, okay? Little Johnny got a tax-free death benefit check, $1 million. That's certainly going to help a 4-year tuition. It won't bring his mom back, unfortunately, but it certainly makes things a little better financially, okay? We get that. She makes it. Chances are she will. She's only 50 by that time. Great news. She just got back in 20 years over $61,000 between the return of premium and the scholarship points. Okay, so look, it's a total investment that she made of just under $20,000. And then she got a free $1 million policy for 20 years, plus about $40,000 of gain on top of it because of the scholarship. It is a no-brainer, folks. It's a win-win. And then you can say, well, Bill, what happens if little Johnny goes to college that's not in the SAGE program? Well, you can transfer the points to another blood relative, even a cousin. Okay, so anyone can use it. And then it's okay because mom still got her money back and still was protected for the 20 years, right? You cannot sell against this. I don't know who would say no to this as long as they have the money, right? They have to be able to afford the $82 a month, but who's going to say no if you pitch it correctly? Let's keep moving. By the way, we can do this with whole life, final expense, term, even a critical illness, DI, accidental death plan. So anyway, you get the point. Social media posts these are pre-approved. We have these up and running, and we can even co-brand these for you. Again, the point is to drive traffic to your Insure Me Now direct website, which has your name, picture, logo, phone number. Let's keep moving. Bill Levinson Experience Podcast. I love this episode. One of my favorites, number 61, top right corner. This man, number one, he's having the best year ever. Okay, he's been with us 15 years. He has 10 times his premium and application count for 2025. And it came to the surface because of one relationship networking with a bank. Okay. And this man this week just submitted over $500,000 of paid target premium. Okay. Now, do you think you can do something not maybe to that level, but do you think you can get going with some of these ideas and strategies? Absolutely. But start by listening to this free podcast episode 61, and then I want to know your thoughts. And if you picked up a nugget for nothing, it was a win. So take your time, go through it. I'd like to know your thoughts. 2 slides left, and we'll put a bow on this. I know I'm late. Our IUL workshop. If you are in Florida, make sure you register. It's October 2nd, free breakfast. You get CE credit by being at the workshop. Okay. It's going to be 9 to about 11:30 to 12. All of us will be there. We'll have the Allianz team. We'll have our CE instructor. It's a win-win. Doesn't cost you a penny as long as you're an active Levinson agent. Right-hand side, we're doing the same thing in South Florida on the 7th of November, but with Manhattan Life. Let's keep moving forward. This is our menu of training events that you're actually on right now. Okay, this is everything that is coming up in the next about 7 to 8 weeks. Just take note. We'll include this in the thank you email. And then let's move to our final slide in my giveaway. I know I'm 5 minutes over, and I apologize. The left-hand side is our Positive Tuesday quote. There is no success without failure. There is no change without discomfort. There is no winning without action. There's no way around it, folks. You got to put the work in, the time, the effort. Okay, you got to put the right foot forward. It's enough words and hot air, right? It's time to put the action in. Try something new. If it doesn't work, put it down. Try something new. Try it again. Okay, we get it. Okay, my question of the day, and I'm going to give you a little teaser for next week. Remember, I was talking about a 2-part giveaway. Okay, I'm going to give you a little hint. So next week, we're going to do 2 giveaways instead of just one. And the second question, the second giveaway has to do, we have a contracting playbook that'll take you about 7 to 8 minutes to go through it. We're going to send it out in tonight's thank you email. So it's a contracting playbook, short video we put together to help our agents. My question has to do with that playbook, okay, for next week. So 2 questions next week. Your homework is go review the contracting playbook video. It's going to be in the thank you email tonight. And then my webinar question of the day, make sure your fingers are on the keyboard. You got to be quick and you got to be correct. How many products are on Insure Me Now Direct on the instant decision side? Okay, how many products do we have on Insure Me Now Direct on the instant path? Okay, remember I said the right side is instant decision. We've had that for over 10 years. The left side is the newer side where it's traditional brokerage carriers and products. But I'm talking about the instant side. Tell me how many products we have. Insure Me Now Direct, instant decision. Andrew's going to tell us who was number 1.
Okay, the winner is Kevin M. Kevin M.
Kevin M. Congrats. The magic number 23. I just thought about that was Michael Jordan's number. 23 products Kevin, congrats. Apple AirPods, IUL prospecting book on us. Have a great rest of the week, a great weekend, great selling. Reach out anytime for any question at all. Okay? Take care. Hope it was worth it. Thanks again.